So what's going on, guys? My name's Mr. Dalek JD. Thank you for joining me where, again, we are talking World War II Zombies. And if you missed my huge bombshell video yesterday, then click what you can see, that little eye in the top right of your screen right now, as I will tell you about some new gameplay features that was revealed yesterday via Game Informer, including the fact Zombies is finally getting its own class loadout system, as well as objective-based things within the map. Just tons of details, new wonder weapon hints, then be sure to check that video out as well. Now, if you're going to enjoy today's video, make sure to drop it a thumbs up, and if you are new around here, make sure you are subscribed by clicking that button and turning on notifications as well, so you can be part of the notification squad. But in this video, we're going to be looking directly from the creative director of World War II Zombies, Cameron Dayton, explaining the backstory and the real true details of the story inside of this mode, as well as details of brand new zombie types, and we have new screenshots as well. I'll be playing the trailer a few times whilst talking about this information, and also showing you guys all the current screenshots we have, including the new ones, and then we'll go and break down those screenshots a little bit towards the end. But let's not waste any more time. So the zombie segment of Game Informer starts off by calling it Horror in the Hinterland, and it says, with many of Sledgehammer's developers cutting their chops working on Dead Space, this is the closest Call of Duty Zombies mode has ever come to being a pure horror experience. One of the challenges of making a horror game, because we don't control the pacing like a movie does where you can control all the shots, we had to find another way to elicit those emotions, says lead Zombies concept artist Lawrence Mai. We were looking at slaughterhouses. It's a very controlled environment where cows get slaughtered, so they control the lighting, the sight. You can't let the cow see what's happening or it will freak out. It had that emotional pull that we were looking for, that feeling you get from a horror movie. As you descend further and further down into the level, things get more messed up and wetter. The setup is more grounded and far more dire than the recent zombie offerings that channeled macabre film noir or campy 80s film vibes. This grisly tale contains a slew of dark secrets lying beneath the packed snow in the quaint Bavarian village of Mittelburg. Your carefully assembled team of experts from the monument's fine arts and archive section enters the sleepy town searching for priceless pieces of stolen art and artifacts. While the core aspects are still there, puzzles, gates and gun purchases on the wall, they are more rooted in realism than other recent entries. They mention that this is towards the end of the war. The Nazis were in a dire situation, so they needed something, says creative director Cameron Dayton. The hope and assumption is that the zombies were going to be able to be controlled, but that hasn't been the case. In fact, by the time you get into this game, it's the fourth time the zombies have pushed out and gotten out of their restraints. There's something going on here that the Nazis don't understand and can't even control. Instead of pushing players through a correct for the easiest, best set of rote activities, acquisitions and movements, Sledgehammer chose to adopt a new, more dynamic approach. The route to victory has more variables and malleability, as you'll have to move and flow with various objectives. You can't just mow down waves mindlessly and move on. So they're really trying to change the way that Zombies is played, which is insane. I'm loving this. For instance, in one situation, players must kill zombies within a constantly moving radius to generate an electrical charge to unlock a new area. These zombies are not supernatural, fueled by magic powers, or propelled forward by a disease or virus. Dr. Straub's science behind reanimation is focused on the nervous system. Targeting neural pathways, he unlocked a way to bring these corpses to life. This isn't a biological plague or some kind of virus, it's an energy source that targets the nervous system. The zombies still require some assembly, however, which is why you see bolts, metal, struts and other pieces slapped onto them. In some cases, these attached devices may not be just to prop up an arm or a neck, but to induce pain to the nervous system. These zombies can be empowered through torture, which make things like neckwear and back bolts more than just grisly adornments, but functional instruments of nerve-probing terror. We're going back to energy stuff, what Germany knew at the time. German physics, Dayton says. We're sort of taking a pragmatic science fiction path to it. We don't wear it on our sleeve, but for those that want to get into the lore, it will be consistent and make a lot of sense, which is fantastic. I love how we're not having someone that's ruler or controller of the zombies in the ether. It's as more simple as a doctor experimenting on corpses with the nervous system, and they've grown to be a little bit bigger than he thought they'd be, and they can't be controlled anymore. Now, they say, terrifyingly enough, there's an actual basis in reality for the pseudoscience and occult underpinnings of the dark Nazi tale. There was a branch of the SS developing the occult, exploring, looking for the spear in Christ's side, the Ark of the Covenant, the lost land of fuel, and all these other things to back up their ideas. The interesting thing was, for the first time in human history, there was an attempt to pair science with that, because the Germans at this time were a very analytical, scientifically driven people, and so they were making these assumptions like, hey, if there are these legendary items, there is some power behind them, some science we don't fully understand. Of course, it's all twisted and dark and headed in scary directions, but it's the perfect setup for this sort of thing. The Indiana Jones franchise is built on the backbone of twisted Nazi research and Hellboy. Now, not all of these zombies have eyes or even a full set of functional limbs. No problem. They have a trained, primal response to sense anything living nearby, which they then target for immediate death. Some of the lower tier zombies, like the Pests, don't even have arms. Assembled piecemeal from spare parts, Pests enter the ranks and sow chaos, chomping, biting and sucking down bullets to let other zombies do work. Other zombies, like the Bomber, may be stitched up from leftover parts, a gruesome assemblage of pieces designed to simply deliver an explosive payload to anyone it can reach. Outside the rank and file zombies, there are others that can absolutely terrify even the hardest team of zombie slayers, assembled from massive weapons, flame, and multiple bodies. Well, there you damn have it. Brand new story talking about the backstory on how these zombies are exactly controlled. It's not simple like a virus or anything like that. They've been experimenting on corpses so much so that they now don't know how to control them, because they have this primal response to kill anything they see, which is crazy. Now, we also had some mentions of some brand new zombie types which we've never heard before. So before in interviews, we've heard of one called the Trencher, but now we have some actual official new names of zombies, which a lower tier one is called the Pests, which don't even have arms. We have this screenshot here, and we see this quite a few times, and they mention that these are assembled from spare parts, where they're simply chomping, biting, and sucking down bullets to let other zombies do work. Now, we can assume that this is the zombie they're talking about, as you can see, they don't have arms, but we do see in the trailer there are zombies which have missing arms as well, but these zombies definitely look like they're built from spare parts, as they have some of the metal caging to sort of keep their skull intact, because there's no flesh there, and even some of the bones missing as well. Now, the other zombie mention is called a Bomber, and it says even the hardest team of zombie slayers will find this one absolutely terrifying, as it's assembled from massive weapons, flame, and multiple bodies. Now, during the trailer, we do see a blueprint of a zombie which has 2 heads, and this could go in really well to confirm that we will definitely see some sort of 2-headed zombie that's had multiple bodies fused together. And also in the trailer, we do see what we believe to be the Pest, but this time it's on fire. I don't know if that's related to this monster as well, but we do have what seems to be another type where the zombie's on fire, and they do mention later on in the article that they had a huge zombie who is definitely a boss zombie. How we have a boss in most zombie maps as like a boss zombie to take out every few rounds, they had what they called the Uber zombie, which charges around from room to room, stomping, careening around objects, and basting us in deadly fire. This is unreal. This could be what we see inside of the trailer, this massive mutated zombie we see at the end with the mace, as it does manage to break out through a sort of little container where the zombie's apparently supposed to be asleep in. It just knocks it down completely, and as we hear from this description, it charges around room to room, stomping, careening around objects, and basting them in fire. Perhaps there's more zombies that we've not seen yet, which have the power to have what seems to be some sort of flamethrower as a weapon. Going through this new screenshots, this first one we have here is a zombie which is outside in a forest area. We've not seen this yet in any screenshots or in any trailer segments, so this is really, really interesting. You can see part of the trees are on fire by the looks of things. This zombie's really up close, and it seems quite dark, so there's some sort of flashlight there in the bottom which is lighting up this zombie, but it looks hella gruesome. Look at that. It doesn't even have a nose. What is going on there? We also have a look at this cage area that we've seen before in the trailer, but we have a ton of zombies zombies around this section, which we've never seen before. We have a zombie's head lying there, and you can see the flesh is stitched onto the skull, which is gruesome. There's zombies walking. We have crawlers as well. This next one is taken underground, where we see this weird electrical area, but we can see zombies that we've seen in these news other screenshots before, but we see a lot of them this time, and the lighting's really moody, so you can't really see much of them, but these guys look proper Nazi zombie style. We've got the helmets and hats on, and you can see the barbed wire around that one on the right there. It's just gruesome. And we finish it off with a new screenshot, which is actually cut in half, just stitched together, and this is another look at this sort of laboratory area that we see quite a lot in the trailer, but from a different angle, where we can see this buzzsaw hanging down. We can see bodies in that window, which are definitely corpses ready to be experimented on to turn into zombies and try and create this super soldier army. And we can see a few zombies just cheekily there in the corner. But man, Game Informer have really hooked it up with zombies intel. This is really, really exciting stuff. And they also mentioned at the end that this Easter egg, or the Easter eggs in this map, are going to be some of the hardest Easter eggs that we've ever looked for and discovered inside of Call of Duty Zombies, which is a massive, massive statement. And I really hope they stay true to their word, and I can't wait to see and learn more. But let me know, has this got you hyped for World War II Zombies? Let me know. The beta is later on in August, multiplayer wise, and during the month of September, Game Informer are going to have exclusive coverage where hopefully we get to see little bits and bobs from Zombies, which I highly suspect that we will, seeing as we've got new screenshots and info already. But if you want to make sure you stay up to date, remember, hit that subscribe button, become part of the notification squad so you never miss out on any more of my future videos. And if you enjoyed, drop a thumbs up, let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you next time.